Joining us this week on VFL in Focus from the Werribee Football Club is their star defender, Jake Wilson. Hi, Jake.
How you going, mate?
Going very well. Thanks for joining us this week on VFL in Focus. Great to have you on board. Werribee, a great season to date so far. You've got 10 wins on the board. Everyone around the club must have a really good feeling at the moment.
Yeah, it's really positive at the moment. Obviously, we started off the season really well, and then went through a bit of a patch where we were losing a few games that we were probably expected to win. But we're feeling pretty confident coming into finals, sitting sixth at the moment, and hopefully we can finish the season strong. And who knows where we can finish on the ladder. So
a 28-point win over the Bombers at Windy Hill. Then you had the bye last weekend. The bye must have come at a really good time for the club.
Yeah, it did. Certainly for me, the body was starting to feel a bit tired, and I really enjoyed the rest, and it was a good chance for us to all get away. And obviously it's even better going into a bye when you've had a good win, and a good win over Essendon at Windy Hill. It was perfect way to go into a bye.
The win against Essendon, however, did come at a cost with injuries to key players Scotty Sherlock and Braden Norris.
Yeah. So we had Braden Norris go down with an elbow injury. So his season's done, which is very disappointing. He plays his role every week and he's very consistent. But Scott Sherlock, had a bit of a scare with his knee. We sort of feared the worst at the start. It was all good. The scans come back and he had a fair bit of bone bruising, I think. But he's really important to us going into finals, Scott Sherlock. So it's a great result to have him, back in the side, fresh and ready to go.
Jake, let's go through your footy story because it's been a really interesting one. You're from Portland, I believe, but you spent a lot of time at Williamstown before making the transition across to Werribee. Just take us back through the events and how you ended up down at Chirnside Park.
Yeah, so I moved down to Melbourne when I was 17, just finished year 12, and I went to Williamstown for 2 years. Enjoyed my time there, but I didn't see much of a future for myself in the role I played. Just with the full alignment at the time with the Western Bulldogs, but made the transition to Werribee, and they were partially aligned with North Melbourne, and I've loved it ever since. This is my fourth year now, and the club's in really good hands with JL as the head, John Lamont as the head coach, and Michael Sotomarco as the captain. It's a really good place to be at the moment, and I've loved my time here.
Take us through John Lamont's impact on your football career, because a couple of years ago, let's take you back to 2013, and you've just arrived at the footy club, you're put into this key defensive role, and you're coming up against some of the big names of the competition, and more importantly, coming up against a big tall in Nathan Vardy, and that's probably been one of the turning points of your career so far.
Yeah, so obviously he was a big challenge for me playing on him, and I think he ended up with 6 goals that day. But look, JL's just sort of been on to me about getting a lot of early body and not letting sort of my opponent have an easy day. So just as wherever I can just bump and just annoy my opponent, just to make it a real hard day for them. He's really pushed that on me, and I think that's made it easier for me playing on the bigger blokes, not just relying on, I suppose, pace or leap, sort of just getting some early body and making it really hard for him.
As a key defender, have you modelled your game on someone at an AFL or VFL level to assist you in becoming a better player?
Yeah, so I watch nearly every key defender pretty closely in the AFL, but I suppose over the last sort of 12 months, this year especially, I've kept an eye, pretty close eye on Robbie Tarrant. I played a little bit with him in the pre-season this year, and just with the alignment, I tend to watch the North Melbourne defenders and like Scott Thompson and Ferrito and those blokes, and really sort of hone in on what they're doing, and I tend to keep a close eye on them especially.
What sort of work did they do with you, and what sort of information did they share with you from a feedback perspective?
So my fitness had to improve a fair bit, so I've worked really hard on that, especially this year, and I was running my best times in the time trials and that in pre-season, and still feel really good in that area now. But still a fair bit of improvement in that area. I still have, I think, but that was definitely the main thing that JL has pushed on me was get my fitness up so I can play on the more fitter blokes like your Scott Cloustons and that from Williamstown who run all day and not just the big resting ruckman sort of bloke. So, yeah, that's one thing he's really pushed on me, yeah.
What sort of impact has John Lamont had at the club since joining as coach? And recently he's had a contract extension.
Well, I think he's just brought everyone really close, and he always says just invest in each other and the surroundings. So invest in your coaches, and he loves the club. Like, he's a past player of this club, and he's really passionate about his job. And he's like I said, I reckon he's brought everyone closer together and made it a real sort of just a country football club feel in a professional way, I suppose. And he's just a great person to have around the club, and he's done a really good job since he's been here the last 2 years.
Recently, you were invited to join the state combine screening. You must be very excited about the opportunity.
Yeah. So I got invited 2 years ago, and I couldn't test due to an injury. But this year, I'm looking forward to it, hoping to be able to do the testing and hopefully test well. That's the goal. And at the moment, obviously the main priority is finals footy coming up, and that's what I'll be focused on. But yeah, as soon as the season's over, it'll be maintaining my fitness and hopefully testing as well as I possibly can. Yeah.
Now, you said you had an injury the first time that you went to the state screening. What was that, and how were you compromised in that sort of situation, whereas you'll be able to go this time and really make a good account of yourself?
Yeah, so I think so I ruptured my spleen in the 2013 season. It was a bit of a different injury. Not many people get it, so I just copped a knee to the ribs and thought I was badly winded, but turns out it was a bit worse than that. So yeah, I obviously couldn't test at the combine, but I think this year I'll look to test well. I suppose the fitness side of things was in 2013 wasn't up to it, and then I didn't get a chance to prove it at the screening. So hopefully this year I can.
Had some really good players this year, as we just mentioned before. Your captain, but also Nathan Larassi, Matthew Brett. They're players that have come into the team, and not necessarily the AFL listed players. VFL listed players for Werribee are the ones that have done a lot of the work this season, and that's really important going into any finals campaign.
Yeah, it is. Blokes like Lara and Matthew Brett, they just play their role every week, and I love playing down back with those guys. They just play their role, stop their man, and blokes like that you need in the side. And, at the start of the year, it would have been like Lara hadn't played many senior games, but then he's come in this year and played every game, and he's kept his spot because he just keeps continuing to play his role. And like I said, that's what most of all of our players have been doing this year.
Yeah, it's sort of your footy there, Jake. I believe that you made a real big sacrifice because you decided to pull back on some of your work commitments, and just take us through that sort of decision making and what you do outside of footy.
Yeah, so on Thursdays I have the day off. I've spoken to my boss about that, and he was really good about it, and I just sort of come into the club and do some vision with JL or head to the gym or do some extra skills in the pre-season. I was doing extra skills on the Thursday, but just a real good chance to freshen up and sort of get myself ready for the weekend's games, and so I can prepare as best I can. Yeah.
Next season, full alignment with the North Melbourne Football Club. Werribee Footy Club must be really excited about that partnership and the opportunities that it explores.
Yeah, for sure. I think Werribee and North Melbourne, we've got a really good relationship, and it's exciting times for the club, and probably really looking forward to next year.
Now, outside of footy, we just spoke about how you've been able to sacrifice some of that. What else do you do? What else do you like to do outside of your footy in your spare time? Because it's really important to have that bit of a release from the pressures of footy and work as well. Yeah,
I've played a fair bit more golf this year and try to get out and have a hit every week. I think that sort of takes your mind off it all, and a good way to sort of, I suppose, bit of exercise as well as having a bit of fun. And there's a few boys down at Werribee that we head out sort of every couple of weeks and have a hit. We're not that good, but we enjoy it. That's the main thing.
Who are the stars of the golf course from the Werribee Tigers? Let us in on some of the locker room banter. Always good in a footy club.
Yeah, Josh Halliwell, the worst golfer I've ever seen, and Matthew Brett's not a bad golfer, but Josh Halliwell's one that I wouldn't want to play golf with again after I did last time.
Do you still harbour some ambitions to potentially play at the AFL level?
Yeah, that's why I've made the sacrifice this year of having my Thursdays off. That's all I want to do, I suppose, and I really hope that I can get that chance this year.
This week you take on Williamstown. You got it's a really big match because you're taking on a team that's one of the benchmark teams. What do you think of the key areas for you and the team to get over the line this weekend?
I think they've got a really strong midfield, Williamstown, and it'll be a great battle in there. I think they're just strong all over the park. It's hard to find a fault in their side, and but I think we'll match up pretty well against them, to be honest. And hopefully we can get the 4 points. It's a tough ask down at Williamstown, but no, we're really looking forward to the challenge.
Never an easy task going up against the Seagulls, and obviously a big finals campaign not too far away. We thank you for joining us this week on VFL in Focus.
Thanks for having me.